Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Tier 3 brought to you in partnership with Gridfinder. Tonight we are running around the Spanish Grand Prix. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes late to the stream, a couple of technical difficulties. Tonight in the commentary box it's myself, Champsline, and I'm alongside Ewan again. How are you today, Ewan?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad. I'm not too bad. Tonight the Spanish Grand Prix, as I said, a track that you're familiar with?
Not really, to be honest with you. Quite the theme with a lot of the tracks.
No worries. I'm sure you'll learn a lot about it over the course of tonight. I think 33 laps around the Spanish Grand Prix, obviously qualifying first, short qualifying, just the one session, fastest time is on pole. Let's go on board then with Sam Fanley, who's going to set the first flying lap of tonight.
I do recognise this track. It's the track where it was the last race of the season on my team, and I was going for and it was to win the championship, and I forgot that you had to hit once, change tyres, and I got disqualified.
Can't say that's something I've ever done. It's an interesting track. It's been loved and hated by F1 fans for quite some time. It was always the practice testing track, that they would use pre-season. So you found that when it came to racing around the Spanish Grand Prix in real life, they would qualify 2 by 2 in constructors' orders because everyone could get the max out of the car possible. And sometimes it made for a pretty boring race, but they've updated the track a little bit, widened a few corners, and I believe they're removing the last chicane for this season to try and make the racing a little bit more interesting.
Jack has already spun out in sector 2.
Not good for Jack, but Bruce Lee then in the Aston Martin gone the fastest for now, 1:18.6. I'm not too sure what times we're looking for. Obviously this is the first race of the week. Usually you can sort of use other leagues to gauge what kind of times we'll be setting, but a 1:18.6 compared to what's come through looks like a decent time for now.
Yeah, Atsu's gone purple in sector 1. And he's looking like he's got some pace going around these corners now. He's run a little bit wide there. Yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. Hopefully that doesn't alter Atsu as he goes inside to out, following the racing line. But when he goes a little bit wide there on sector 2, that's exactly where Jack spun out, as I mentioned.
Very easy to invalidate there.
Yeah. It hasn't come up that he has. He purple sector 2 as well, and he will come down into the final corners here. As he comes down the pit straight, start-finish straight now. And it's a fastest lap by a tenth of a second. He was purple through every single one of the sectors, and deserved.
Yeah, good time for Matsu. I'm just having a look now at previous season. I can't find F3 for now, but F2 last season pole was a 1:17.5. So it's looking like a good time then for Matsu already, just a second away from that, and obviously with it being the tier below, definitely not a time to complain about at all. Some boy was the one who set that time, as Jack goes even quicker there. Oh, just a bit quicker, should I say. The 1:18.53 then. Some very close times so far as we watch the other Ferrari about to come over the line. Let's see if he can see where he can put himself, as Max Verstappen is in the grid today. Joseph Grimmy goes 7th. Max Verstappen is Jarrell. He's had a bit of a name change for those of you who watch week in, week out. Then a couple more drivers need to set their times. A few of them are coming out now then. We've got Mikey, Sab, Trems and Bontobi all coming out then on outlaps.
Get to see Darryl in the Williams.
Yeah, he's just coming out now as you say that. He's mentally preparing himself for tonight.
Trying to work out which balls not to hit. Which balls are, which corners you got to go slow.
It is such a...
one in the...
Yeah, what do you...
LDL spun.
I think that was on a flying lap as well. He did a double warm-up lap. He's gonna be... That's warming up behind him, that's fine. Let's get back to Sab then, in the Williams. About to start his first lap of the evening. Let's see what he can do. There's a few corners that are easy to spin out around here. The last chicane is an easy one to spin out the exit of it. These first two corners are very, very technical. You've got to take a nice wide line through it, as Sab is going to do. Cut across the back of the apex. And that left curb, you can ride that a lot more. Well, you can ride it fully if you've got the right setup on. But Sab's chose to play it safe. He's only doing a bank lap, so that's fine. A good time then. He looks like a purple sector for now, as long as that's not the game lying to us. A nice wide line out around there, and a little bit of a snap there. But he's okay for now. See how he can navigate the next few corners. Out wide, up onto the curb, exactly like he did. Another corner here, then easy to spin it. As you said, Jack did spin around here, and it's very easily done. But Sab is going to navigate that one nicely. A little bit of a lift through the corner. If you get that line perfectly, you can go flat out, but again, it's a risky one. A new braking zone then, a very weird one, and a sweeping corner, which is a lot different to what it used to be. And this corner there is a lot easier than it was. It used to be a very sharp angle, and you used to be able to fly over the top of the curb. But they've adjusted that one, and it's a lot easier. That run off to the left does have spins there. That run off to the left is where the new track will be, but unfortunately the old track is playing a big havoc for Sab, and I think he'll go straight into the pits here. Yeah, unfortunately that will be it for Sab then. Let's see, Trum's Jake come around the final corner then. 1:18.2, and that is the fastest lap.
I was going to say, I saw him get a purple sector in the first. Didn't come through, I didn't notice it on the second, but evidently it was just enough to beat Jack's time.
Yeah, brilliant time then for Trems. Let's see what Daryl can have to say about that as he comes over the line. We'll see himself P2, just a tenth off the time, well, a tenth and a half. A brilliant time for himself. Martin saying, is that Max Verstappen down in P14? It's not Max Verstappen, unfortunately. It is Jarrell. He had a bit of a name change and forgot to change it before he joined tonight. So it will be Max Verstappen for now. But P2 then for the other Williams, making up for Seb's mistake. Mikey is actually beached in the gravel. So that will be qualifying over. Atsu, we're like, Atsu. Unfortunate for Mikey then. That will be a disqualification. And he didn't set a time. But it doesn't matter, he got disqualified anyway. Let's look away from that one. My commiserations, Mikey. But it is easily done round here. We've all been there. Obviously the new mechanics in the game, if you're not familiar, Ewan, you can beach yourself in gravel or on curbs now.
Oh, no.
And that is what has happened with Mikey. Let's see then. On board with Max Verstappen. Otherwise, aka Jarrell. He's in the wrong car, but it's fine. Let's see what time he can set. Oh, a 5-place grid penalty there for a collision with Kai and JP. I'm not too sure what happened there. As Jarrell does invalidate, you wouldn't see Max Verstappen doing that, so there's definitely not Max in that car. See then, is Bruce Lee on a flying lap? It doesn't look like it. Lots of congestion and traffic. Jack then setting the fastest for a sector. 15 1,000ths up. Let's see if he can keep up this pace. He's got 3 attempts to find as JPH then goes up to P4. Both Aston Martins on the second row for now, but I'm sure that won't last too long with Jack right on a lap now. He's looking like a quick time. A little bit of a lift through the corner, but that's fine. A little bit of traffic, but I'm sure he'll get out his way. As he does exactly that. Let's see then. Another purple sector and a 10th up on his time. I'm wondering if he had a poor third sector in his last run. How's he going to navigate the last few corners? Probably the most difficult corners, that and the first two. He's going to run for it nicely, no invalidation and no spin. Then just to navigate the chicane, which he does nicely. One left wheel up on the curb. And a long right-hander then to finish off the lap. Where will this see him? He will go fastest then by just 2/100ths of a second. Jack will see himself on provisional pole. Ah, brilliant time for himself then, Ewan.
Yeah, it's very good. And Sab here looking to beat that as he sets it. He's not going to hold it for long. As Sab goes through the final chicane, going in the final corner and going down the start-finish straight. It's quick. It just shy 0.3 tenths. I'm not sure what happened there. He went purple in sector 1, sector 2.
Yeah, it could be he just had a bit of a mistake through the chicane, but also there is a bit of a visual glitch where sometimes they're not actually the purple sectors. And actually, if it's just a faster than previous best by themselves, it will sometimes flash purple, but not always. But either way, a good time, and the field spread here is ridiculously close.
Yeah, it looks like if you're gonna want to beat Jack, you want him to come out of that chicane at about 108.
There you go, then Bon Toby in 11th. Yeah, that last chicane is a difficult corner for sure. The double apex really catches people off guard, and it quite often ends up in a spin, let alone just coming out the corner slowly.
Yeah, the thing is as well is that the start-finish line is quite in the middle, so it's not like it's a couple of tracks where it's as soon as you come out, you're pretty much there. It's like one last dive. You got just that little extra dive. Oh, and Trent spins.
Big spin then for Trams. I was on board with that one as well. He was looking quick. He was 2 tenths up on his time, and that would have seen him on pole, but has been halted quickly, and he's going to have to get in the pits and back out as quick as he possibly can. I was just on board with him, Ewan, and I thought he was going to set himself up on pole.
So did I, to be honest. But hey ho, he's got 3 minutes to get into the pits and out. I think he can do it.
Yeah, not too long of a track, so he does have the time to come in and out, so he should be okay. He will be disappointed about that as he does indeed, yeah, pull into the pits. We're on board with Sam Flam then. There's purple second sector, but he's not really improving on his time. A couple of hundredths, so that we'll see him move up a couple of positions with such a close field. See if he can keep it nice and tidy through the final chicane. He does exactly that. Maybe it was a poor chicane last time, which costed him. Let's see where he finishes. Over the line then, and that will be fastest then. Just again a few hundredths, but that will see him on provisional pole. It looks like the chicane is what's troubling most people tonight.
Darryl now, 5th place. Starting his fastest lap quick, and it is quick. As he comes up to the end of sector 1, it's 0.2 off on his time. Not as quick as I thought.
Yeah, unfortunately for Darryl, we'll look away from that one for now. If he's 3 tenths off, I don't think he's going to improve too much.
Yeah, he's slowed down.
Yeah, he's not going to have time to go back in the pit, so he's going to recharge his battery, I think, and go for another flyer straight off the bat. That's what I'd do, at least, anyway.
That's what he is going to do. Joseph Greenwood does start what is going to be a hot lap into turn 1 now. He rounds the first couple of corners really well. He's looking to gain, and he's 0.1 second faster than his original time. As it stands, he will be provisional 6th, which is on the 3rd row of the grid. As he has a car in front of him. Hopefully he will let him pass. It does look like Joseph is the fastest car.
Yeah, I was following that one. JP then on to provisional pole, 118.174. Again, only 2/1000, sorry, that he's improved on the best time. I was trying to keep an eye on that one as well as on board with Joseph Greener. A brilliant time from himself. I can't believe how close it is at the top. Each time is just 2/100ths quicker than the last.
Yeah, and Joseph Greener now coming round the final chicane. Doesn't spin it. Coming round the final corner now. And he does go pole.
Car gets disqualified from qualifying. I'm not too sure what's happened there, but he's 14th anyway, so that's not going to matter too much. But these times are coming in thick and fast, and quick and fast as well.
Oh, an LDR gamer trying to make it faster, trying to make it further than 6. Sadly, what looks like he spun out in sector 2, and he's not going to get back in time, I don't think. And he won't. He had 10 seconds. He's in sector 2. He has slowed down, and he'll be looking to end this. He'll be looking for the finish line.
Yeah, that'll be game over. And Daryl then, he's obviously not improved, he feels like, and he's coming into the pits. Let's keep an eye on Trems J then. He had that spin. He was looking quick earlier. He's only a 10th up on this time, which will see him just shy of pole. So let's see what he can do in the final sector as Jack goes quicker then. 1:17.9. A lot quicker this time. A couple of tenths. See what Trems can do about that one then. He's coming around the final corner. 1:17.9 to beat. And it will be a 1:18.2. Unfortunately, he did not improve on his time, and he will stay 5th place. Sab sees himself up into P6 then, just 4/100ths off the time ahead of him. I don't think there's many more left to cross over the line. We've got an Aston Martin coming around the last couple of corners now. JPH should be looking for something a bit better than 11th place, that's for sure. Where will he see himself climb to? 7th for the Aston Martin. Got Nitric Ashes coming into the pits. Atsu has disqualified, and I think that will be it then. What you see is what you're going to get for qualifying. Jack on pole then.
The only person to break to get a sub 118.
Yeah, just about in the 1:17s, and that is only 6/10ths off the fastest time in F2 last season. So a brilliant time for Jack. Just goes to show how much people have improved over the last season, and how much quicker the drivers got on the current game.
And it is pole position. Good, yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations to Jack on that pole position then. Not his first one of the season, but I will take you through the grid then. We have Jack on pole, Joseph Greener just behind him in the Ferrari. The McLaren of JP always up near the top, and he will start in 3rd place. Sam Flam with 4th place, a brilliant time for him, out qualifying his teammate for I think the first time this season. Terms in P5. Sav in P6, a brilliant position for him, and hopefully won't get caught up in too much tonight. JPH in P7, probably a little lower in the Aston than he expected. Bontobi in P8, LDR in P9, and Daryl in P10. Could have gone quicker, but a few mistakes led to that one. Atsu in P11 then, and then the back runners of the 2 Aston Martins, Bruce Lee all the way down in 12th place. He feels he could have done better, as well as Nitro in 13th. Sir Spud in 14th, Max Verstappen aka Durrell in P15, and the back of the grid with 2 DSQs, Kurt and Mikey. Mikey did beach we saw, and it looked like a spin for Kurt, and facing the wrong way was where he got disqualified. I don't know if he was waiting on track for too long, but that was what happened with him. With a good evening from Spud. Good evening to yourself, mate. Hopefully a nice clean race tonight. An interesting qualifying then, Ewan. What are we predicting for top 3 tonight?
You know what, Daryl, I'm backing him today. I think he'll do the job.
Daryl. Is that 1st, 2nd, or 3rd?
We'll go 3rd. Don't want to big it up too much. 2nd we'll go Trems. I think he's been quite consistent in qualifying, and I think 1st will be JPH. I think he'll just climb his way through the grid.
Interesting.
But then again, though, I think if Jack has a completely flawless race, he'll win the race.
Yeah,
I
think
that sounds quite obvious. But, you know, the amount of times where there's been little mistakes, and that's where people have been able to counter, and then you just can't get back at them. So I think, you know,
We'll have to see.
Somewhat flawless race.
Let's see then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we will be away for the Spanish Grand Prix. Short lights, and who's going to get the best start? It looks like Joseph Grima flying up the outside of Jack. A little bit of a snake behind him, but no contact just yet, as Joseph Grima will take the lead down into turn 1. Jack's going to look up the inside, but nothing doing. The McLaren going around the outside. JP, a brilliant move around 2 people, and he's finding himself up into P3. We have a spinner at the back. I think it's Bontobi in the Red Bull, as well as Max Verstappen, aka Jarell, in the Haas. A couple of spinners, but they're keeping it nice and tidy. Or as I say that, Sab going for a move on Trems, and he looks like he went a little bit deep into there, and he's going to give the position away as Bontobi spins again. Not the start he's going to have wanted in that Red Bull. But a brilliant start then for a few drivers. JP had a terrific start, as did Joseph Grima. Flew off the line and took that first position, and he's looking quick out there.
That was a crazy start.
Crazy start indeed, but a bit of action between the two Alpines side by side then. Trem J and Sanflan. Sanflan looks like he's lost the car and almost collected his teammate, but luckily he didn't, and he has made his way through fine. Sanflan down into P7 then. Just trying to hold it on the outside. A little bit less grip out there as he's off the racing line, and a spin for himself. Darryl then moving backwards through the grid. I don't know what's happened. A little bit of a spin almost through the chicane. He's down in P10. A frantic start then for a few drivers. Let's keep an eye on where the closest gaps are. Looks like Bruce Lee is wanting to make a move on Samflan. He looked really quick in qualifying, but not so quick in the race, unfortunately.
I think Aston Martins as well are looking to be better than they did last week. You know, both of them, I think they were both outside the podium, I believe. I might be wrong.
I can't remember in all honesty.
And either way, it's been a bit shaky. They've been relying on mistakes quite a lot, especially in the last race as well. I think if they had been in the podium, it would have been because of a mistake, a big mistake. But no, they need to bounce back and make a command and make a statement, really, for the rest of it.
Yeah, they do have a championship that they're trying to defend. As Atsu's going to go up the inside of Bruce then. As we're talking about the Aston, too wide into the chicane. This is going to be brave. And Atsu does give up that position, and probably best to do so. Joseph Grima then with the fastest lap. He's looking quick, but a spin for Trems, that is. You said he was going to be on the top 3, and a bit of a dangerous return to track there, I think.
No.
And he sees himself down in 14th, and that is not a position where he's going to want to be. As you have 3 wide down into turn 1, Sir Spud, LDR and Mikey, but they all get through nice and cleanly. Bruce Lee still looking to make a move then on Sam Flan, but he has caught up to the back of JPH, possibly the two Astons holding each other up. But Mikey then is the next to spin, and he did spin in qualifying as well, so it looks like he's struggling with the car tonight. Had to all over the back of Darrow, who looks like he's lost another position then to Bruce Lee Hardin. As Jarell has crashed, and he's disconnected from the session. That's a bit strange, that one, but we will keep our eyes ahead. Mikey spun again. Had to all over the back of Darrow, then back to that battle.
Sam Flan going
JPH.
down the inside of JPH. And he does gain a position there.
He will indeed make that move, but contact then between Atsu and the car ahead, who was Darrow Whiffen, and he's gone round. And that did look like an unfortunate error there. It didn't look like anyone was really at fault. They were so slow through the chicane, the two Aston Martins, and everyone just grinded to a halt, and unfortunately Atsu ran into the back of Darrow. I did see that one on stream. LDR Gamer then has that pace advantage, and he's through.
I think it's the Aston Martin, into the Aston Martin. Bruce Lee has sent it into the wall down into turn 2. I think that was JPH's doing. He's caught the back wheel and sent him round into the gravel.
Something you never want to see then is contact between two teammates, and as you were saying, the Astons are needing to bounce back here, and that's not the way to be doing it. It's also allowed the Ferrari through by the looks of it. So you have a spin at the back then for Mikey. Darryl Muffin going for a move on LDR Gamer up the inside, a little bit of wheel bang, a little bit of contact, but he's going to make that move done, and it looked like it wasn't anything wrong from Darryl. LDR just didn't see him and turn in, so a good move from Darryl, and he sees himself back up into P9. Lots of action going on tonight, Ewan.
Yeah, very much so, and it's just the beauty of Tier 3. There's nothing quite like it.
Actually then the fastest man on track, Sab looking for a move on JP, but they've both got DRS. Wow, he's closed in close to the JP there, and he's backed off a little bit, and probably safest to do so. But Bruce Lee, yeah, looks like he must have wing damage then as he sees himself in the pits.
I was going to say, he did go it was a very, very high speed collision into the wall.
Let's have a look then at the tyre situation. We've got mostly medium, well, a very big split between medium and hards, but Atsu is on the soft tyres. I don't know if he's looking for a two-stop or a one-stop on those tyres. It could be a two-stop. A very brave strategy for himself.
Yeah, I think it's I think he's open for an early safety car, to be honest. I think if the issue is on this track though is that there's not many corners where the wall is too close to the track, where you're going to crash and you're going to end up on the track. So I don't think many safety cars are going to be triggered tonight.
Yeah, like you said, it is hard to retire out of this track. J did get past LDR up into the last points positions. There is not many walls close to the corners, like you said, and it does mean that crashes often do not involve retirements. And obviously no retirements, we know safety car, but Sab then is going to go for a move on JP down the inside. No, he's not quite close enough. That DRS for JP really saving his bacon there.
There are 2 DRS zones in this track. Here
there is 2 DRS zones.
So here and this straight in sector 2.
Yep. Yeah, the straight end of sector 2 into sector 3 is the second DRS zone. If you've not changed it, if you on the menu at the bottom where it says track map, you can change it to full track map.
Alright.
And there you can see 2 where the green, there's like green marks for where the DRS zones are on the track.
Alright.
So as you said, the second DRS zone, then where JP is now, he's looking for he's looking to just keep with Jack, I think, and stop Sab getting past behind, who's really looking quick tonight. But we're starting to see a bit of a DRS train form.
He's got to stay within the second of Jack, to be quite honest, because if he doesn't, that just leaves the door very wide open for Sab, as he won't have the DRS coming into, especially on the start-finish straight. It's a long DRS zone, a long DRS straight as well.
I hate to tell you, Ewan, but your second bet for a podium, Darryl Whiffen, has spun the car again. Has gone from bad to worse for himself, and he's down in P12.
I'm sorry. It's all I can say. All I can say to you.
I can't remember who your third man was, but it's not coming out too well for now.
Darryl
JPH was it?
Yeah.
In the Aston, he's doing okay.
Yeah. They're all outside the top 5.
They are all outside the top 5 for now.
Oh, don't know if that was a visual glitch there, but Jack seemed to lose the car out of that corner. It might have just been my screen. I might have been.
Yeah, judging by the gap, I think it was just a bit of a visual glitch, but they are really close together, these few drivers. Sort of 3/10 is the biggest gap here. Really, really close together. Lots of ERS for a few of the drivers. Jack really becoming a bottleneck for a few of these drivers then. Let's see if JPH can close in on the gap whilst they're all battling with one another. Sam Flan 2/10 to the back of Sab. That is the closest gap for these. But as we've seen, Sab has some really quick straight line speed. So they all come round the final corner. No one loses it. Well, as I say that, Mikey loses it elsewhere on the track, and that will be the first retirement and possibly a safety car. It is a safety car then. I think Atsu's going to be in off those soft tyres as soon as they come round. But there we go, first safety car of the evening, Ewan.
Yeah, I think that's just come at the wrong time there for Atsu. I think if that had come albeit maybe 15 seconds earlier, when Joseph, Jack, JP, Sab and Sam had gone past, then he'd have been able to make that quick dive into the pits. And
yeah, on the right there, that's an unusual place for a crash from Mikey. He's obviously tried to carry too much speed through the corner, and I think he's understeered to the left, corrected it, and spanned to the right by the looks of it, and clipped that wall, because that wall is really close. So you do have a few people coming in the pits then. Bontobi is in for the medium tyres, Kurt is in for the hard tyres. Obviously a split strategy between those two. See if some of the front runners are going to come in the pits then. No double stacks for the front 7, that's all, well, front 5 should I say. The 2 Ferraris will be double stacking if they both pit, and I'd imagine they both are gonna pit. So JPH could gain a position here under the pit stops.
yeah, I think it will depend on the pace. And that's Joseph Greenman does not come in. Joseph Greenman is staying out.
Wow,
Does dive into the pits.
a lot of drivers staying out, and I thought the medium runners would be in here. I'll be honest. Daryl is in for the hards. Well, I think Atsu will go out on the hards, he does, and they all look to go to the end. But an interesting decision then for a lot of those front runners. This really could work out in favour of the Ferrari of Atsu here.
Yeah, I think this could be a
He's going to want to get out in front of Spud here, which he does.
This could be a significant turning point here. And it could be a significantly long safety car, bearing in mind you've got cut a minute behind.
You have such a spread between these drivers.
I think we could be seeing 2 or 3 laps under this one safety car.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-lap safety car, you got to think. It never stays out longer than that normally in game. So it will come in the end of next lap, I think, at the latest. But let's see how this one's going to pan out then. Atsu he should be able to take those hards to the end. They'll be a bit worn, but he's going to have a 20-second advantage over everyone ahead of him, who's going to have to pit before the end of the race. Him and Trems are going to be in a really good position for a good podium finish. And possibly Daryl as well. Maybe your prediction might be coming into truth a little bit here, Ewan.
Potentially. But we do have one safety car will stay out, I believe. We haven't had word that it won't. So I think it will be staying out for one more lap. I think we could see 2 or 3 diving into the pits here. But then again, you've got 24 laps to go. Are Hards going to be able to do it? No one dives into the pits. I
think they should last. It's a bit late now for people to pit if they haven't already. Maybe Jarrell might come in the pits, but... Ooh, he's actually not back in the car yet. He's disconnected and he's not rejoined since when he had that spin. So everyone will be staying out then. Cut on those new hard tyres. A bit of news actually about Kerr, Ewan. I don't know if you're aware, he's recently acquired a new rig and is racing on that rig rather than pad, so he will be a little bit slower.
Oh. Just getting used to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's difficult. I've got a wheel myself and I can't get the hang of it, so I'm sticking on pad for now. I've tried a couple of times. It's just so difficult. It feels so different to the pad.
Yeah, I used to play. For the Ride and Sport, I played that a lot. So I had the Ferrari Thrustmaster wheel, and it only turns 90 degrees. So it's like you can only. It's not great for F1.
No, that 180-degree rotation is quite handy around here, especially in tracks like Monaco. But it will be the safety car in then, and the Ferrari will be leaving.
When will he go?
Well, he's gonna have to back the pack up a bit more than this if he wants to go early. He's keeping right behind the safety car here. You have to slow down a bit.
I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go straight up chicane.
Well, he's very close to the safety car, so I think he might be waiting until the line. Could be wrong.
Is he?
Let's see, is he going to go? He's going to go out the chicane, you're correct, but look, I think his throttle got limited. He's almost span it there. That was very close, and he almost went round. Luckily, he pulled a nice big gap. Or he would have been overtaken down this start-finish straight. But he's just about got it right, almost even with a spin. There is a spin at the back four car on that new rig, like I said, and he's obviously getting used to that one, but almost tears there for Joseph Greenman on the restart.
Yeah, that'd be unlucky for the. That would be unlucky for the Ferrari. He's done well to be where he is.
Yeah, he's looked quick today, and that would not be the way you'd want to end his session, that's for sure.
And we said, you know, we've witnessed it before. There's not been some great safety car starts in this tier.
No, it wouldn't be the first one to spin off the restart, but we see it in all the tiers. It's not just F3. I've seen it plenty of times in F2, and I think I've seen it once or twice in F1 as well. And even in real F1, we see people spin it under the safety car, so anything is possible. Even the best drivers do make mistakes sometimes. We're all human.
Exactly.
But everyone getting through this lap nice and tidily. No one going for a move. Trems is the closest who we're on board with for now. On Sir Spud. Looking for a move around the outside, but not quite going to make it stick. Darrell is right behind as well to pick up the pieces. Some tidy racing for now. Let's see then, can Darrell get the better exit? He goes wider for some more speed, but he's lost the back end there. We were on board with that one. Luckily he's kept it out the wall and he's in the gravel, but that's a 10-second penalty which should get removed. For Darrell F and his Trems makes a move on then on Sir Spud. Mistake for Darrell in the last corner. It's easy to lose traction there. He went for the wider line, the quicker speed, but more speed means more chance of spinning. Especially in that dirty air, and he almost did exactly that, but he managed to keep it in one piece, thankfully.
JPH looks like he's... It looks like he's struggling.
Big spin for LDR. Sorry to cut you, Ewan, but he's gone round. I was on board with that one as well. Into the left wall at the beginning of the second sector. You'll see himself fall to the back of the grid.
Wow.
Maybe I should just sort of watch with my eyes closed until you tell me something happens.
I was just going to say that I think JPH is struggling for a bit of pace here. He's good in the corners, but he's just... There is a little issue here, because if he gets outside the 1 second gap, outside the chicane, he has Nitro and Atsu and Trem all on the DRS.
Yeah, he's going to be vulnerable. Bruce Lee in the other Aston Martin then has made his way into the points again after that collision with his teammate. He doesn't have to pit again, but I'd imagine those tyres won't go to the end because he didn't pit under the safety car. But let's have a look back at the other Aston Martin. Like you said, he needs to pick up the pace here as the camera is getting locked on the wrong car for some reason. A little bit of a visual glitch. But maybe the battle is higher up here. JP really over the back of Jack. A spin at the back for Car. Unfortunate for him, he's just getting used to that rig, like I said. But it's nice to see people changing over, and they're looking for a challenge. And even in the middle of the season, he's interested in doing exactly that. He wants to get his money's worth, I think.
So this is where Joseph Greenman has got himself a little bit of an issue here. He's on the he's on the mediums. Jack and JP are on the softs.
Yeah, as Kerr does retire then from the race, he's had enough of the rig. Needs a bit more practice before he returns on that. Maybe he'll be on the pad next week. But JP all over the back then of Jack.
Joseph Greenman on the mediums is staying out for another lap. he is going to have the more wrecked tyres here. Sab looked to make a move there on JP. That was a little bit unexpected there. But he realised he couldn't do much, and he stays away. As we have a DRS train building now from 1st to 7th. Could be 8th. It's just absolute time. It's fluctuating at the moment.
Yeah, big train indeed, and it's going to be hard for anybody to make a move. Joseph Gramer really, on those medium tyres, he doesn't have to pit really until he starts getting overtaken. He's got no need to pit. He's going to be on the slower tyre than those behind, so he's going to have to try and keep it out as long as he can so that those hards will be as fresh as possible. So we have another retirement in the pits. Yeah, LDR gamer.
What a shame. They were in, what, 8th place? And that spin's just completely ruined their day.
Yeah, spinning into the wall, unfortunately, so that was race over. But this is looking very close, and this is exactly what people complain about sometimes around the Spanish Grand Prix. Is it's just a lot of DRS trains.
Yeah, and we have Joseph Greener in the pits. Sorry to interrupt there. He does go into the pits now, looking for the undercut. I was just about to say that JP had overtaken Jack, but it wasn't.
Is him in the pits?
Wrong. No, it was just showing Joseph Greener going down, and I saw red and I panicked. Right.
No, you're all good. If you come into the pits then, so Spad losing a position to Bon Toby. It looks like he's not got a very good straight line speed, unfortunately. JPH then making a move on. Samflan up into P4. Not a place people usually make an overtake, and there's a lot going on here.
Oh, it's still LDR's car. So confused.
Yeah, same. I was trying to work out who it was. It's annoying that they come out the pits like that.
9th now. 0.2. Not far off JPH now, as we go down the final few corners before the chicane.
No, JPH made a move on Samflan, but I think it was under yellow flags. I'm not too sure, as my chat is having a little bit of a moment in the corner there. I don't know if I've maybe missed a few things, because it seems to be playing up a little bit. Sab then out the DRS. Importantly, this is going to leave him really vulnerable from behind with everyone in the DRS train. Samflan's going to come steaming down the straight. He's not quite close enough for now, and Sab's going to have to look to close that gap sooner rather than later, or he's really going to have some trouble on his hands from behind. JPH on the back of Chip. I don't know if you spoke to JP and whether he's had those pedals fixed yet after last week.
I haven't, no, but it does look like he has got the pace. His throttle's not been too bad. He has been keeping up. As I say that,
it's dipping, isn't it?
Yeah, he's kind of gaining and not, and then gaining and not. It might be Jack's setup. I think it is. Jack's setup does look desirable. It does look like he has got the lower front wing.
I don't know, if you look at the telemetry of JP, the green bar, when it fills, it seems to flicker a little bit. I don't know if you can see that as well, underneath where the speed is. Oh, a little mistake there from Jack, and that's going to allow JP up the inside. And as we're saying, I hope that's not tactical for the DRS straight. But JP is up into P1 then. A little mistake from Jack, who's been faultless all race. He will have the DRS, and Sab will be very grateful for that as he gets some DRS. As Samflan is in the pits then on those medium tyres. Sab will be looking to come in soon. Jack's going to go up the inside. Oh, that's close. JP around the outside. A brilliant move from himself, not giving that one up too soon. Wow, brilliant defence from JP then.
Yeah, I think that's a tactic gone wrong there. But that looked completely flawless from Jack. I think JP's got the inside line there. Jack's just taken the normal racing line. JP's took an aggressive line. It's worked, and that's very rare, personally, that I've seen that work.
Yeah, brave on the exit for JP. He had the outside line into the turn 1, but that turns into the inside line in turn 2. And sort of if you hang the car out wide and then shoot it up through the chicane, you can get a good exit like he did, and it really paid off there.
Yeah, it looks like when he did overtake Jack, I don't think there was a mistake from Jack there. I just think JP took a more aggressive line. I don't know. I was looking at JP, so I kind of just got JP's angle at it, and he did go down the inside.
I think Jack had a little bit of movement out of the corner back there, and that did allow JP to slip up the inside. Sab is going to be overtaken then by JPH into the corner. I don't know if Sab's had a mistake. He's into the pits. That makes a bit more sense on those medium tyres. Heart attacks all around. Trems and Atsu then in 5th and 6th. They obviously have pitted already, and they don't need to pit again. Same goes for Daryl, who's carrying a 10-second penalty. The only penalty so far tonight, but that was very unjustified, and hopefully that one will be removed by the stewards. We were on board with it, so we have plenty of evidence of it. A bit of a gap though from 6th to 7th. Bruce Lee Harden, who did have that incident early on in the race with his teammate. I doubt that one will end up in the stewards either, as Joseph Grima gets past Sab, who is out on cold hard tyres. But he was going to not want to lose that position for sure.
Nitro gas then. Not too far off JPH, but not close enough to make a move down that straight.
Yeah, all eyes on Nitro indeed, and Atsu is very close behind as well. Obviously he has the fresher tyres, so he's going to be quick. But JPH is not going to have any DRS here with Sab pitting. Not really the line Nitro's going to want there, and he looks like he's going to go into the pits even.
Atsu's looking rapid.
He's going to have the DRS.
Yeah, go on.
He's going to have the DRS from whoever it was that just pitted. I've forgotten already. Nitro Gash, who is on the medium tyres. He can have that DRS, so he has closed the gap right up to JPH. And again, JPH going to be looking in his rearview mirrors, 2.5 seconds off the leader, or then some. Sorry, off second place. These two are looking really quick out up front, but they're going to have to pit again. Well, they're going to have to pit for a first time yet. They'll be wanting JPH to hold Atsu up as much as possible.
As soon as Atsu's released, it's like releasing a ball into the bullring here in Spain.
It's going to be exactly that.
It will be quick, and it will come at you like you're wearing red.
Whoa, side by side, Joseph Grima and Nitro for a few corners and almost contact. Nitro not given a whole lot of space, but Joseph Grima's managed to hang it around the outside, and he'll make that position. Nitro on those cold medium tyres, so we can let him off for a little bit of movement there. But all eyes to the front of the grid. JPE is coming in. JP is pitting off those hard tyres onto the mediums, you'd assume. And I think Atsu is going to be looking to make a move on JPH here. As again, my chat is pinging on the right side, but Atsu up the inside into P2 for now. But still, Jack left to pit. He is 3 seconds behind, but Jack is going to be pitting soon, and I don't think JPH will be staying out much longer either.
I can't see that happening. Bear in mind he has just been overtaken by the fresh tired Atsu, who is now hunting down the red car of Jack. As I said, the bull of is he in the Ferrari? Yeah, he is. The bull of Ferrari going to the Alfa Romeo. It is Alfa Romeo, but I think it sounds cooler than Alfa Romeo, especially a bit quite fitting as it is in Spain.
Exactly, obviously the big prince of bullfighting in Spain, or there definitely was.
Yeah, there still is. They've got one festival at the moment. They've got one festival where they do a massive bull run, and bulls just chase people. It is stupid.
My actually then fastest lap, but my knowledge of Spanish culture is not up to scratch, unfortunately.
Study GCSE. Go back and study GCSE in Spanish. You learn loads.
I did do some Spanish at GCSE, but that was a few years ago now. So Trems then on the back of JPH, a little bit less of DRS trains going on now as everyone is pitting. Sab 3 tenths behind Joseph Groomer on the fresher hard tyres. But I think JPH is going to have to pit soon as well as Jack. Unless they're both going to try and run to the soft tyres maybe.
Yeah, you could argue soft. If you pit in the next 2 laps, softs would still be viable.
Yeah, not too sure how good a tyre the softs are for racing, but they are the quickest tyres, but they don't last too many laps to see what they're going to do.
And he does dive in. Jack has dived into the pit. That's who will take first place, the top step on the podium as it stands. If he can keep it tight, if he can keep it like this, he will be on that top step, down into turn 1. Just flawless for Ratsu. He's quick. He looked quick in qualifying, and he's looking quick now as he rounds the first couple of corners.
Yeah, Atsu then into the lead. The AlphaTauri of Jack, he's really done nothing wrong, but Sab's going to go down the inside of Joseph Greenway into turn 1 side by side, and he's going to get the move done. And as I say that, Jack has span out of the pits, and that is not what he wants after pitting. I was just saying how he'd had a flawless race. He spun it again, and he's going to see himself fall to the back of the grid here. And unfortunate for Jack, he was looking really quick tonight, and he hadn't set a foot wrong until then.
Yeah, I said it earlier as well. If he has a flawless night, he'll win it, and mouth stays shut from now.
I think even if he had a flawless night, that safety car really came at a nasty time, and I can't help but feel maybe the opportunity to stay out was a brave one, and it costed him. Let's see if a bit of an illegal pit entry there from JPH, but he is in the pits. Get the car stopped in time then. Trems J will move up to second, which is where you predicted him to finish. Darryl pitted again for the medium tyres. Looks like he just wants to do some racing tonight.
Yeah, I think, JP has a very, very strong chance of getting a podium. A very strong chance. Because he is on the newer medium. He's got 12 laps on the car in front of him, 11 laps on the leader. I think he can do it. I think Bruce Lee he's risking it all. He's got to have some trust in his own defending. And you know what? I like it. I like that he's got that trust in himself. What you like to see.
Yeah, he's going to run those hards to the end, I think, Bruce. But Bontobi's just disconnected from the session, and hopefully he can get back in that car as soon as possible, because he will start falling down the order, and even possibly the AI might decide to do something stupid like pit. I'm really worried that it will do exactly that at the end of this lap. I think the AI will dive into the pits if he can't get back in control of the car.
I think he'll pit for the softs.
Well, it'll be whatever the AI decides. He's at the mercy of the AI. And that is never something you want to have. As you see JP really gaining very quickly as the AI goes so slow through here. A yellow flag then for Sam Flan spinning the car. The AI stayed out, that's good to see. But JP is in the DRS of Bontobi then.
Toby keeping it tight. Well, no. The AI of Bontobi.
Really a lot quieter on track then after that safety car and a few pit stops broke up that DRS train, and the closest gap is going to be JP. He's just going to breeze past that Red Bull, obviously.
That's Bontobi.
Bontobi can get back in the session as soon as possible. In fact, I'll just quickly send an invite to the groups just in case he doesn't have one. I think he is on PlayStation, so he will get this invite. Let's see then, who have we got our eyes on at the moment, Ewan?
I've got it on JP at the moment. as he looks to make a dive for the podium. Yeah, as he enters the chicane.
Yeah, we've seen it in real life. I don't know if you were watching. Lewis pitted middle of the race, really alternate strategy to the Rebels, and caught Max almost with nothing he could do about it. For the alternate strategy, he was right behind, couldn't make an overtake, pitted for the medium tyres and bolted them round the track as quick as he could go. And he did manage to catch, so it's not all lost for JP for now.
The two McLarens now. Any move on Bruce Lee now could change how we go into the final 5 races after today.
Yeah, 4th and 5th for those McLarens. Brilliant team effort again. A good team effort in Saudi Arabia last week as well. But Nitro is on the back of JPH is on the back of Nitro, sorry. JPH looking a lot quicker on the medium tyres than he was on the hards. He's going to look for some positions to be made and try and get a better double finish for the Aston Martins, who were looking to defend from those McLarens in the Constructors' Championships. They do have a championship to retain after last season. They did win it. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, as it stands, 55 points splits McLaren and Aston Martin. 5, well, with 6 races to go, including this one. And it's looking interesting with the two McLarens not neck and neck. There are 5.5 seconds between them, but you know, a position 4th and 5th behind the Aston Martin in 3rd. And I think I don't know about you, Joe, but I think it's going to be really interesting with the amount of laps. Bearing in mind, JP and Nitro are both on the quicker tyres as they do hunt Bruce Lee.
Yeah, JP he's found 3 seconds really in the last 3 laps or almost, and there is still 7 laps to go. Hopefully those mediums aren't going to wear out too much, and JP might be looking for a last-ditch attempt onto the podium. JPH not really gaining on Nitro at all. He can't quite get in that DRS zone. He has a better sector than Nitro through the second sector, but as they go through the chicane, Nitro is just a little bit quicker through there, and he loses that DRS.
Ooh. He might not have.
No, just outside. He gets in the DRS range on the straight, but it's a bit late then. He's definitely got that straight line speed though. Almost the opposite from what we've seen in the Astons over the last few races.
Yeah, but it's just interesting because when he was just before he pitted, he was quick in the corners, but very slow on the straights.
Very strange. Possibly he had a change of his front wing then while he was in the pits, because you can lift your front wing or drop it a little bit, but I don't think it'll make that much difference in the straights. It's your rear wing really this year that pays more, well, has more of an impact on that straight line speed. Bit of a lift there for JPH. He's really trying to hunt down Nitro. He wants an extra position tonight.
No, and I can see why. He's trying to split up the. Trying not to lose the deficit. Although you have a point difference of 55, you know, one race where both of them are out of the points and it's game on.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds then JP to Bruce Lee. That's another second gain that lap. He's looking quick, and he's going to catch Bruce at this rate.
No, I'm not really surprised about that, to be honest. I think JP's had quite a good race. So was Nitro, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're both good in qualifying as well, but I quite like to see JP on the podium, yeah, because of the race he has had. But then again, though, Bruce has had a hard-fought battle you know, we've hardly been able to watch him, to be honest. Today, he's just made his way gradually up the, stayed out of trouble and just made himself gradually up the order.
Well, you say stay out of trouble, but he had the mistake with his teammate. But since then, he has done exactly that.
Oh yeah. Got that.
But since then, he pitted. Well, he didn't pit actually. He pitted with that mistake, and didn't re-pit at the safety car. But he has those tyres. They are 23 laps old. That'll be why JP is catching, and he might lose a position or two. But even top 5 really in that Aston Martin will be an impressive feat after that spin, as JP is almost in the DRS zone then. Owen is desperate that we refer back to his comment at the start. It's not Atsu. It's Atsu. In the style of a certain somebody who I do not like to name.
He is a interesting man, to say the least.
Yeah, talking about Saudi Arabia last week, that's where he is at the moment.
Yep.
JP then, this is going to be the battle to watch. JP, I'd like to assume that he's going to get past Bruce quite easily here. That was the way. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to do an enthusiastic sue, I'm afraid, Owen. Let's see, is JP going to go for a move early?
And he does, and he gets the move off.
That better traction, he will get past quite comfortably. He is blinking, but Bruce Lee's got not got much more ERS, and that will be the move made for the McLaren. And he's going to have the DRS of this Haas, who's not in control of his car, Jarrell that is. He's going to have a bit of free DRS to keep that position then. I think
he might go in the distance.
He is catching. I think 7.5 seconds is going to be a bit much to ask for JP to catch up to the back of Trems. But a comfortable podium then you'd like to assume for JP. A well raced race, and he stayed out under the safety car, which was a brave decision, but it's paid out well for him, and he's climbed himself back up to P3.
I think Atsu might have a lap where he starts to build his ERF potentially. He has got the 6-second gap. He has just lost fastest lap as well, which is why I do think he will take a lap where he's just gonna store the ERS so he can just go for it in the next lap.
Yeah, we'll
Try
have
and
to
get
wait.
the point.
We'll have to wait and see. JPH right on the back of Nitro. His teammate loses the position, and he's looking to gain one to make up that deficit for McLaren. Well, against McLaren. Let's see. Nitro might have some free DRS to defend with, which he's really going to need. He's not even. He's going to overtake before the corner. Let's see then. Will JPH make a move down the start-finish straight, possibly into turn 1? Wing wide open for the Aston Martin. No ERS for the McLaren, and this will be an easy pass for JPH, you must think.
I think he just let him pass.
Yeah, he got out of the way, didn't he? He didn't want to battle down into turn 1, and I don't really blame him.
I think Nitro's accepted the fact that he hasn't got the ERS. He is.
No, he's being sensible here. He's let the faster car through, and he's just going to probably stick with the back of him, or try to. And maybe it might bring him closer to the other drivers. Only a couple of laps left to go then. They're all behind his teammate, Sab. 8 tenths is the gap there.
Already, JPH has cut the gap between him and his teammates 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, those really new medium tyres, they are far quicker than the old hard tyres of Bruce Lee. Only 1 lap to go, and he's going to take them to the end, you'd imagine. But well, a brilliant effort really from Bruce, up in P4. It's going to be an interesting one here. What JPH decides to do, is he going to try and hold off Nitro and help his teammate here, or is he going to go for a move? Let's have to wait and see, because Nitro is going to be climbing over the back of the pair of them by the end of this lap.
No, I think he'll go for the move if he can. Purely on the basis of Nitro. I don't think, in JPH's eyes, Nitro's not captain Bruce at all. Personally, I don't think he will. If JPH can overtake Bruce, I think that would be the benefit. I think that would actually benefit Bruce more, because of the DRS. I don't think Nitro will get the. Well, I mean, there's one more DRS though.
Yeah, if you keep an eye on this battle, I'll go back to the front then with Atsu. Only a few corners left to go. And I missed the drama last time at the race finish, so I'm not going to miss it again. JP is only 3 tenths behind his teammate. He's not gone for a move yet. It looks like he is going to hold position, but Atsu around in the last couple of corners has been a brilliant race from himself. No mistakes, and he's capitalised on that early safety car. 23 laps on the hard tyres. I'm sure they're very warm, but he will come over the line. Sorry, there is one more lap left, actually. I thought that was the final lap. That's my bad.
Oh, is that not a final lap?
No, there's one more lap to go. I must have misread that. Oh, well, there's going to be interesting then with the Aston Martins. JPH is going to have to go for a move on Bruce. He does indeed. He's going around the outside. He'd have to not compromise his teammate too much, because Nitro is sniffing right behind. The two Astons do swap positions. Nitro will probably look for a move at the end of the second DRS straight then.
Yeah, potentially. I think JPH, you need to slow down. Remember your team. Remember what team you are, Nitro. Oh, is there contact there?
Nitro's going to go for a move around the outside of Bruce. This is going to be tight. He's holding on. Bruce not giving a lot of space on the outside, but Nitro will hold on anyway. He's not going to get the move done there. Almost into the back of him. A little bit of glitching going on. Nitro's going to spin it on the curb. I saw that coming from a mile away, and he's gone round. Nitro from 6th place has spun the car. He's going to have to get going as quick as he can, but he's going to have to wait here. It's going to be a dangerous rejoin if he gets on the track, and unfortunately for Nitro, it is ending in tears there. He went up on the curb, and I saw that one coming. Disaster for the McLaren. As Atsu comes around the final corner for the last time this time, and he will win that race then in P1. Trems J will finish in 2nd, JP in 3rd place. JP has come around the final corner in the Aston Martin in 4th. He will round that one out, and a brilliant effort from Bruce. A good defence there, and I think that was unfortunately Nitro Gash's mistake. And Bruce Lee will finish in 5th place. Bonto then in 6th. Sab right behind him, and his teammate right behind him. 3 tenths behind one another. But Darrell will see himself fall down the order with that 10-second penalty, which I would assume will get removed. Joseph Greenmer in 8th. Jack in 9th. Sam Fly in 10th. This is all provisional, possibly one position higher than, well, lower than the positions they finished. Darrell out of the points, but I think that one will be reinstated. A couple of drivers left to cross the line. Sir Spud. Unfortunately, that man Nitro Gash, who had a spin in the final lap, he's going to be disappointed, and some questionable lines through the final corner there. He's definitely not happy with that one.
No, I think that could end. I don't think it should end up in the stewards, but I think out of a bit of desperation, it might.
I think you might be right. I think Nitro might feel like he was ran out of space on the exit a couple of corners earlier, but he wasn't really alongside of Bruce Lee Harden, and Bruce Lee Harden kind of had the right to the corner there. And maybe Nitro should have backed out and not got too desperate to make a move, and has ended in tears for himself.
It's unlucky for him, but I think let's see who your driver of the day is. Go on.
I think it's got to go to Bruce Lee Harden. You know, he looked quick at the beginning. He was racing well. He had a mistake. Well, no, I don't even know if it's his own fault. He had the incident with his teammate. And really, he fought back, and he fought back hard. Obviously, those two at the top of the podium did also fight back on the alternate strategy with the safety car, but I think it's got to go to Bruce Lee for me. What about yourself?
I think Atsu. I think Bruce Lee did have a good race, but I just think it was completely flawless. I don't think I saw one mistake from Atsu. He'd climbed 10 places.
No, he did do well, and fortunately Jack managed to get himself back into the points, and with that fastest lap after the spin, after the safety car. Sir Spud saying it's been a tough race. But we will have the final order for the Spanish Grand Prix then. Atsu in first place, Trems J in second. Brilliant from the two of them. JP in third, who was on a resurgence on those medium tyres and only 5 seconds off the leaders in the end. JPH P4 with a brilliant bounce back, and Bruce Lee with an even better bounce back in P5 then. A good result for both Aston Martins, of one of the McLarens out of the points. Bontobi then in P6. I think he got back into his car, so that result will stand. Sab in P7, Joseph Green in P8. He looked like he was going to have a good race, but a couple of mistakes really led to his P8 position. Jack in P9, the same story for him as well. A few mistakes, unfortunately, coming out the pits. And he did spin twice, and that was the reason why he finished at the bottom of the points. Rounding out the points then is Samfan. Darrell in P11, but he did finish higher on track. He did have a 10-second time penalty, and that one might get removed, so Samfan could be at the points there. Sir Spud, who said he had a difficult race, and he finished the race in P12. Not a bad effort from himself. Nitrogash in P13 with that spin on the final lap. And Jarrell, who finished a lap down, but I don't think he was in his car. And then 3 DNFs at the back of the field. LDR Gamer Kerr, who said he was having some issues because he had his controller still plugged in and he couldn't brake properly with the new rig. And Mikey, who beached the car in qualifying and then crashed the car in the race, I think is going to be a week to forget for himself. Let's see if we can get some of the drivers into the podium interviews. We're looking for Trems J, JP, and we'll ask JPH to join us as well. It seems in Atsu cannot join the interviews. Let's give them a message now.
JP's in already.
Yeah, I saw JP join. JPH said he'll be there in a second, just waiting to hear from Trems then. Trems J forgot about the podium interview. Hatsu said that it was a brilliant race for himself, and I have to agree. The pit strategy worked out well. He did pit under the safety car and ran those hard to the end. The left rear was on 70%. He said, I'd like to hear from JPH once he joins the state of Bruce's tyres at the end of that race, because they must have been very, very worn. Trim said he'd be there in a moment, just waiting on himself and JPH. JPH is in, just Trems to join then. I'll tell you, while we wait for Trems to join, oh, he's joined, there we go, everyone is in.
Hello, hello.
So let's start with you then, Trems. Brilliant race from yourself, and that strategy looked like the one to be on.
Yeah, it was. They started on the mediums and then under the first safety car, just went straight onto the hards and rode them all the way out to the end.
Yeah, brilliant race. We saw we actually saw a lot less people pit under the safety car than I expected, at least. I don't know about you, Ewan. I expected more to pit under that safety car, and really it looked like it was the right option to do.
That was, I think, the gamble for me, because I didn't see much people doing it. I thought, what do I have to lose? I think I was second and I spun, and then I just had to kind of go for a gamble, and it paid off.
Yeah, it's always nice when you sort of go for a gamble like that, and it does pay off. P2, some good points for yourself.
Yeah, I needed a few good results, if I'm honest, to try and push these Aston Martin boys, but we'll see how that ends up at the end.
Yeah, talking about the Aston Martin boys, they did have a good race in the end. A little bit of drama at one point, but they both recovered nicely.
Yeah, they did well. They did well, to be fair.
Any questions, Ewan, for Trems?
No, just well done. And yeah, congratulations on the podium.
Cheers, appreciate that.
On to then the lead McLaren tonight. JP, almost a race win last week. A P3 this week and maybe a few more laps, and it could have been higher. How do you feel you did today?
Oh, what could have been 3 more laps, yeah. But no, I think I was controlling my pace behind Jack. We were very similar on pace, so I was just keeping within DRS, and I think we were just helping each other out, and we were sticking close enough to I think it was the Ferrari in the lead on the mediums, and then he boxed quite early, I think, after the safety car, and he dropped out then. But the safety car, I think that's what really kind of lost me the race, lost myself and Jack kind of the race, because the 2 lads that stopped, Atsu and Trends, they were able to put on those hards and managed to make it to the end. I'd love to see the tyre wear at the end, because it must have been quite tight for punctures, but it worked out for them, so I'm happy. I was confident in my pace, so at least that's positive. But a couple of more laps and I could have won, but still the podium's good. I think Nitrogash was unfortunate at the end on the last lap as well, but still decent points. Yeah,
we did unfortunately catch that one on stream with Nitrogash. A little bit of a tussle with him and Bruce, and then a spin up on the curb, which unfortunately I saw coming from a mile away when he went to mount it, and he did spin out of the points, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. He was just saying that he went mounted the curb and then sent him out, but it's unfortunate.
You win some, you lose some, and it was a win for you today. Well, not an actual win, but a win, not a loss for you today.
Yeah, I'm happy enough. I think podium last week and podium this week is definitely more like it compared to the first half of the season, so nice.
Any questions, Ewan?
No, just well done. Actually, one. When towards the end there, did you have any worry at all that the people behind you were going to catch you?
I was JPH. I think Nitrogash did a good job defending for a while, because JPH obviously was on much newer medium, so I was watching the gap, but I wasn't too concerned. I was more looking ahead, but no, I knew the last couple of laps I knew I was kind of in that no man's land, so I didn't push as hard, because I just needed to make sure I kept it on the track and get the podium. So
good on you, mate. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Well, you were talking, JP, about tyre wear. Let's go to JPH right now. JPH, do you have any insight as to what the tyres were like for Bruce Lee at the end of that race? I think he'd done 28 laps on those hard tyres.
Yeah, he ended up with low 70%, I think, on one of his tyres. So yeah, they went off pretty quickly near the end.
Actually, the percentage wasn't as high as I was expecting. Atsu said he finished the race with his 23-lap old hards on 70%, so I thought maybe Bruce would have been in the 80s, but he obviously had some good time management.
Yeah, and obviously, Bruce is quite smooth in terms of style at times, which kind of helps. And I guess it also depends the sort of setup Atsu's running, whether that becomes harder on his tyres. The cambers are quite high or something of that nature.
Yeah, of course, there is a few factors, but I just thought it was going to be a little bit worse. Let's concentrate on your race, though. Your teammate did do well, but P4 for yourself. You got to be happy with that one.
Yeah, it's not a terrible result. A safety car kind of ruined any plans of looking at a podium. Unfortunately, came at the right time for Atsu. Obviously, it helped Trems out. I think Trems spun it during the race, so it kind of helped him out massively. But as I've been on the nice end of safety cars before, sometimes you're on the right end, sometimes you're on the wrong end. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, Spain, I feel comfortable around it, but it's clearly just one of my slower circuits. I'm just not quite as quick compared to other circuits, but it's nice to still walk away with fourth and some decent points and decent team points as well for fourth and fifth for me and Bruce.
Yeah, good finish for the Astons. I'm gonna have to touch on it a little bit though. I wasn't on board with it, but potentially I'm not too sure what happened between the two of you. Had a little bit of contact down at turn 1 maybe?
What between me and Bruce?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
No, just a mistake from Bruce then, was it?
I think I'm not quite sure what happened to Bruce behind me, but I know his tyres were quite bad, so it might just be a result of that. But when I went past Bruce, it was just a pretty simple overtake down the straight with the DRS. And obviously trying to get Bruce back in the slipstream to try and fend off Nitric Ash for the final.
Oh no! Earlier than that, Bruce had a trip into the gravel, and Ewan said he was on board, and it looked like some contact between the two of you.
No, he just clipped the curb on the left hand part of turn 2.
Ah, okay, that's good to know. Nothing worse than contact between two teammates.
No, trust me, we've not come together in the last 3 seasons. I think we've been very close at times, but not actually hit each other yet. So
okay, I wasn't on board, so I didn't see what happened. So I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, he just clipped the curb in, and that's turn 2 curb, as I think everyone's probably experienced, is no one's friend.
Yeah, no, there's a few curbs really around this track that you can't get too close to. But P4 for yourself, any questions, Ewan?
No, I was going to ask the same question as you.
So a brilliant result then for both the Aston Martins, 4th and 5th, and some good team points for them, trying to hold on to that championship that they did finish the season with last season. But that is all we got time for IRL Tier 3 around the Spanish Grand Prix. We'll have Tier 2 with you tomorrow night at 8 PM. JPH and Bruce Lee again will be alongside one another. Hopefully no battles with one another in the comms box. And then Wednesday will be the flagship Tier 1 with Webbo and JPH again. And then following that is RP on a Thursday night, also at 8 PM. It's been an enjoyable race and I've enjoyed it. And I've been Joe Hampstein alongside me, Ewan.
Yeah, thanks. Have a nice night, everyone.